July 20th, 1976. NASA's unmanned Viking 1 orbiter and lander touches down on the surface of Mars. 3 weeks later, it is joined by its companion, the Viking 2. For the first time ever, humanity has established a presence on another planet.
The Viking landers actually landed on Mars and took a sample, but they landed in one spot, and they stayed in one spot. We've since sent the Pathfinder Sojourner. For the first time, we have a system on Mars that if we see something shiny over there and we want to go check it out, we'll send the rover and get a very close look at it, take samples, get high-definition video from it, and that is a very good start for figuring out where people need to go when we get ready to send them there.
In 2012, the Curiosity rover landed on Mars's Gale crater. It was the most ambitious Mars mission flown by NASA to date.
Touchdown confirmed. Proceed on Mars.
One of its objectives was to gather data that will help scientists determine what is needed to make the planet more habitable for human exploration. In June 2018, scientist and aerospace engineer Dr. Travis Taylor traveled to Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. There, he met with NASA Exploration Mission scientist Dr. Elizabeth Rampey. Dr. Rampey analyzes data obtained by the Mars Curiosity rover, which 6 years into its mission is sending back some of its most extraordinary findings yet.
So there was very late-breaking news recently from the Curiosity rover, and some interesting information came out of the Sample Analysis at Mars, or SAM instrument.
Okay.
So SAM can measure gases in the atmosphere, and it can also measure gases that are evolved from samples. So basically, we drill a rock, deliver that powder to the instrument, and then that instrument heats up the sample and measures the gases that are coming off.
Whatever outgasses, it can tell you what that is, right?
Exactly. So a big piece of information from the atmosphere is that we've been tracking methane over the last few Martian years, and what we see is that there is a cycle to it where it spikes late summer, early autumn, and then dips again.
Wow.
Yeah, so the big question is why is that happening?
So that could possibly be due to an organic material, right? Or a biological source.
Exactly.
Meaning
so
life.
That's right. I know. So huge.
Wow.
It's not the only hypothesis out there.
Sure.
But, you know, there is the possibility that there is extant life on Mars that is creating this methane.
Wow. The fact that NASA has now released information that they've measured a cycle of methane that goes up in the summer and down in the winter, it sounds very similar to how biological processes create methane here on Earth. That could be evidence that there's life right now on Mars.